dying, and God danyo, oh what that dying. This is the voice of the patriot, and here we speak truth to power. We never ever criticize except to build and not to destroy. This is in the service of God and country. And this is why we speak truth to power in the service of God and country. We never ever compromise the truth. That is why we are called the headquarters of the truth. This is the voice of the patriot, and my name, Blakk Rasta. My brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues we want to look at. And I need you to be part of this, my brother, my sister. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web. And it says, chiefs are not fighting Galamsey because they are not involved in licensing. Dr. Steve Mantiao is the one speaking. And I read, policy analyst and communications strategist, Dr. Steve Mantiao, has stated that traditional authorities have either been complicit or sidelined in the fight against illegal mining activities, popularly referred to as Galamsey. Now, speaking at a stakeholder engagement session on lands and natural resources on Wednesday, March 19, 2025, he pointed out that the exclusion of chiefs in licensing and the allocation of mineral rights is a major obstacle in the tackling of the menace. Now, one of the challenges in the fight against small-scale mining has been the complicity of traditional authority or suspected complicity of traditional authority, their non-involvement also in terms of the combating of the menace. I currently work as the technical advisor to the UK Ghana Gold Program, which is a UK government support to the government of Ghana in dealing with the illegalities in the small scale mining sector. My brother, my sister, I honestly do not know what country we have. We have failed when it comes to demonstrating patriotism. Se papa nyeshia, and bonisu nyeshe. That is all I can read from this write-up. Chiefs are not part of the licensing process. For that matter, they would allow the destruction of the land. At the end of the day, if the whole land is destroyed and we all visit early graves, it's okay. After all, se papa nyeshe, bonisu nyeshe. Look at the mentality. Yes, it is wrong that chiefs are not being consulted. That chiefs who are supposed to be the custodians of the land are not part of the licensing process. My brother, my sister, at the end of it all, who does it benefit? We have the authorities who are supposed to regulate mining in the country, my brother, my sister. Whatever mining we do in the country is supposed to benefit Mother Ghana. But a few chiefs sit back and say, because we are not part of the licensing process, we will sit back and watch the destruction of the land with impunity. And the chief who behaves like this is not a chief, it's a thief. My brother, my sister, it baffles me. In fact, I am most of the time befuddled when I encounter issues like this. I've not been appointed. I've not been given any position, any post. For that matter, if I see the ship sinking, I will fold my arms and watch it sink so that I can say, didn't I tell you? I not tell you before. Patriotism has been thrown to the dogs. We don't love our country anymore. My brother, my sister, it's like sitting down and watching your little son walk all the way into the road and be knocked down by a car because you want him not to walk out there. So you sit back and watch the child destroyed like that. My brother, my sister, the love for our country is no more. The love for our country is diminished. The love for our country is dead. The other day, my brother, my sister, I approached some government people, and to my shock, there are some people who have been appointed in Mahama's government who have returned to John Dramani Mahama, the president, His Excellency, and told him point blank that where he posted them to, there was nothing there. In other words, there was nothing for them to loot. I have said this time and again. How can we solve this problem of patriotism? My brother, right from the birth of our children, we need to feed them with the food of patriotism. We all look down on our country. Everybody wants a visa to run out of this country. My brother, my sister, every Ghanaian is looking for a visa to escape from this country. There are some Ghanaians who renounce their citizenship even before they leave Ghana. Ghana is nothing to them. They have no allegiance to this beautiful country that bore us. It's all because of the socialization. I pray that you understand what it means to say socialization. The way we were brought up, the values that we were taught. My brother, my sister. Now, in the normal Ghanaian society, the average Ghanaian society, we are told that when we fly outside the country, then we are prosperous and we have achieved a lot. True or false? So somebody gets a visa to even go to a country like Afghanistan. Somebody gets a visa to travel, my brother, my sister, to a country like Pakistan. And he feels he's better than you who stays in Ghana to help Ghana develop. My brother, my sister, the love for our country is diminished, is gone. We need to bring back the love of our country like Kwame Nkrumah did. Today, my brother, my sister, sadly, let there be a ship here that says that any Ghanaian who wants to reside outside Ghana, renounce his citizenship, spit on his country's flag, should join the ship. In fact, there are those who would even slice the flag into pieces and set the flag ablaze in order to join this ship. You'll be shocked. Some chiefs would even be part of this. Where has the love for our country gone? Our proverbs are even reminiscent of these. Oh, Ghana, dear. Bibini black man, dear. Oh, Ghana, dear. My brother, my sister, when would our nation realize that we were not Ghanaians by mistake? It's intentional that we are here and we have to contribute our quota. All these chiefs who sit aloof and watch the wanton destruction of the land in the name of Galamsey, bow down your dirty heads in shame. My brother, my sister, they are not ready to develop the nation. All they are interested in is ego. If I don't have the post, then I won't work. We have a long way to go. My brother, my sister, as I've always said, we need a minister of patriotism. Somebody whose duty it is to make sure that patriotism is spread all over Ghana like pekpele during the Homo War. It hurts me that every now and then we have to contend with people who don't have an iota of patriotism in them. These are the people who become our leaders, and they translate that into their leadership style. They don't have any shame when they run to the IMF and the World Bank, demeaning and disrespecting our country. They have no shame when they sell out our country. After all, they have huge bank accounts in Switzerland and some other such places. They have houses and mansions built outside the nation. So this is a country in default for them. My brother, my sister, the solution is not to include and involve chiefs in licensing. The solution is patriotism. If you love your motherland, no matter where you are placed, no matter where you are not even placed, you will still serve the nation to the utmost level. I leave it here. Next story I want to look at is also taken from Ghana Web, and it says, if elections were held today, NDC would lose. And this is Afenyo Makin talking. And I read, now the minority leader in parliament, Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Makin, has stated that the 3-month-old National Democratic Congress, NDC government, will suffer a massive defeat if another election was held in Ghana. Now, speaking on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, March 18, 2025, the minority leader accused the government of John Dramani Mahama of failing to keep his promises to the Ghanaian people. I leave it here. Now, the problem we have in this country, aside patriotism, is over politicking. We are always politicking. How on earth would Mahama lose this election 3 months in his government? Nana Akufo-Addo was the most abysmal president this nation ever had. The worst president Ghana has ever had is Nana Akufo-Addo. And everybody knows that. He himself knows that. For that matter, he's even ashamed to appear in public a few months after his presidency. The biggest regret Ghanaians have had is to vote the so-called angel who was going to be the savior of Ghana's democracy into power, Nana Akufo-Addo. Wanton arrogance, wanton corruption, wickedness. My brother, my sister, we saw all this as a badge of honor. Better still, a badge of dishonor for Nana Akufo-Addo. We saw him commanding chiefs to stand up and salute him, the new angel from heaven. We saw him run without shame in conjunction with his finance minister to the IMF, asking and begging for money in order to keep Ghana together as a nation, having saddled us down with the dirty demonic e-levy, shamelessly, even after promising us that they will never go to the IMF and deceiving their own MPs into submission. My brother, my sister, a few days after, the lying Nana Akufo-Addo government took us all the way to the IMF, saddling us with unprecedented debts. He held on to the constitution that overly gave him power beyond the powers of God. My brother, my sister, the Ghanaian constitution gives presidents more power than God even ever had. Ghanaian presidents, via our constitution, are more powerful than God. They can make or unmake your day. My brother, my sister, it is sad what our constitution has done to us all these years. So Nana Akufo-Addo took advantage of the constitution and he became the newly installed Hitler of our times. Wanton disrespect, lies between his old teeth. My brother, my sister, in fact, the legacy of Nana Akufo-Addo still stands clear. Wanton lying, flying left, right, and center, eating pizza on chartered flights, wearing oversized suits. My brother, my sister, increasing the size of his pot belly. I have lost all respect for the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo and Baumia. the worst decision Baumia has ever taken, and I know by now he is contending with that, is to partner Nana Akufo-Addo for this disastrously demonic government. Our children have also grown to witness the menace the Nana Akufo-Addo government unleashed on innocent souls like us. From schools under trees that became even more grave. Early graves meted out to pensioners with dirty haircuts. My brother, my sister, wanton arrogance. When finance minister was asked to move aside, Nana Akufo-Addo said no, he should stay. After all, the new Hitler had arrived. From school children dying at Fana, with no investigation whatsoever and compensation, we saw our children descend into early graves. Some of them have been so traumatized, the survivors, that they have no future. My brother, we saw what Nana Akufo-Addo did to us. Sometimes I sit back and I ask, Nana Akufo-Addo's government, was it better than the coup d'etats that we had? The coup d'etat heads of states like J.J. Rawlings, Akufu, Achampon, and the rest of them. The only difference was that we willingly voted Hitler into power, whilst the others came in by the barrel of the gun. And today, Afenyo Makin is telling us that if the NDC goes to the polls today, the NDC would lose. Aputo. We have seen John Dramani Mahama being his own man. We have seen, my brother, my sister, the policies John Dramani Mahama has started unleashing on us. We have seen how many dirty taxes Mahama has cancelled. We have seen how he stopped the financial hemorrhage unleashed on us by a dwarfish president with no sense of patriotism. I am angry. My brother, anywhere I have the opportunity to meet Nana Akufo-Addo one-on-one, I will ask him why. Sir, why? Was it a crime to trust you and make you president? My brother, my sister, now Mahama would have to open his eyes, fight galamsey, tooth and nail, crack the whip on his appointees who may overly become pompous and think they have arrived. Put Ghana first and put patriotism as the hallmark of his government. If these things are done, my brother, my sister, there's no way Mahama will fail. If Mahama puts the nation first, whatever decision he's going to take, he must ask himself, how does this benefit Ghana? Foot soldiers must be made to understand that when Ghana stands firm, they stand firm too. We must cut away ego, selfishness, and corruption. I believe Mahama will be able to do this. My brother, my sister, thankfully, over the years, Ghanaians have come to trust me that Blakk Rasta speaks nothing but the truth. That Blakk Rasta, even if he was wrong, he didn't intentionally mislead anybody. Because we all make mistakes. They say to err is human, right? So after your marking, you are tickling yourself and laughing. In fact, you are becoming a misleader. There is something here I didn't want to read. And this one, my brother, my sister, is coming from the Parliament House of Ghana. Somebody is very angry. He says, you are not above anyone in this house. Let this be your last warning. And this is Majority Leader talking to Afenyo Makin. In his opinion, Afenyo Makin is becoming unbecoming, as Ghanaians would say, any day. I don't know what Afenyo Makin is so much in a hurry to prove. We saw Miracles Abuaji do worse than this. Today, Miracles Abuaji has become dumb and totally insignificant. Let's put Ghana first, my brethren. I read that little thing. It says the majority leader in Parliament, Mahama Ayariga, has issued a strong warning to the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, over his behavior in the House. According to him, the majority leader, in fact, the minority leader must learn to conduct himself properly in Parliament. Ayariga's comment came after the minority leader accused the governing National Democratic Congress of failing to fulfill the many promises it made to Ghanaians during the electioneering campaign. However, the NDC MPs did not take kindly to the accusation or the manner in which the majority leader made the comment. So this is in connection with the story I just read. No amount of propaganda would save the NPP in these times, whilst Afenyomarkin is busily propagandering. Sarah Adwoasafo is throwing more mud and dust and excreta on the NPP. My brother, my sister, the party is totally disintegrated into flinters. Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo have buried this party several journeys deep down the abyss. I wonder if any resurrection would ever come for this NPP party, even when Jesus Christ comes. I leave it here. Now the final thing I would like to look at, and I want to be as brief as I can, is another interesting piece. Jesus have mercy. Hey, and this one I'm reading from my Joy Online. It says armed operatives storm former Bank of Ghana governor's home at dawn, demand vols and seize vehicles. Jesus have mercy. Now a group of heavily armed men suspected to be operatives from the National Security Secretariat reportedly stormed the private residence of former Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Addison. According to Joy News' sources, the operation, which took place around 5 a.m. at Roman Ridge on Wednesday, that's yesterday, March 19, unfolded while Dr. Addison was at home. About 15 soldiers arriving in 3 private vehicles and wielding rifles forcefully entered the premises. Upon arrival, the operatives swiftly disabled the CCTV system before demanding that Dr. Addison led them to supposed vaults hidden within the house. However, the former governor firmly denied having any such vaults or caches of money on his property. Despite his response, the operatives proceeded to search the house, right? To ransack the residence, leaving the property in disarray. When their search yielded no results, they reportedly called in national security drivers to remove 4 of Dr. Addison's vehicles, leaving only 2 behind. Before leaving, they also confiscated the CCTV monitor and control unit. Sources indicate that later in the evening, the family was contacted and instructed to retrieve the seized vehicles, which had been parked outside Joker's Club in Labadi. Dr. Addison and his family are said to be deeply shaken by the incident. Dr. Addison was what? Shaken by what? Does he know how many lives he shook when he was in power? This is a joke. Ha! Dr. Addison and his family are what? shaken by this little incident? Huh? So what? Does he know the number of lives his carelessness and irresponsible governance did to the people of Ghana? This man was cutting money like a crazy man. He was printing money at the beck and call of a corrupt government. He caused inflation in this country unprecedentedly, to the point that Ghana became a ridicule, my brother, my sister, in the eyes of the world. My brother, my sister, this led to the unprecedented haircuts so unprofessionally done. Many pensioners visited early graves. Many more have grave illnesses that they got from the announcement that they did not have the right to touch their monies until 10 years, 15 years after. Today, a mere coming to search your house has shaken you and your family. They are behaving as if he's the only one who has blood in him, and that the people who have visited early graves, they only had air in their bodies. I wish that this man will be denied of all his savings and be told that he would have his savings. This man and Ken Oforiatta, the next 24 years, we shall see how they and their families will take that. Dr. Addison was so arrogant when he was in power. We saw how they ransacked the economy of this nation with their weird policies and weird governance. Today, he's crying foul that security operatives came into his house. They didn't shoot anybody. They didn't slap anybody. They only came searching. What arrogance! What impudence of a dying cockroach! My God have mercy. Look how much sins you have bestowed and meted out to Ghanaians with your poor, bad governance. And when you look at Dr. Addison and look at his qualification, my brother, my sister, only God is more qualified academically than Dr. Addison. It's not always that academic qualification does the work. But when he was in power, we all saw what he did. So arrogant. Printing money and denying that money was printed. Inflation slapped our cringing brows. Some of us develop sicknesses that doctors are yet to identify. We are still living with the sicknesses because of the carelessness of these people. Security operatives just take a walk, like a walk in the park, into your residence, and you are crying foul. Did we hear rifles blaring? Did they drop a bomb on his house? What is wrong with going to investigate a man legally? My brother, my sister, I want to see more of this happening. Now, what happened to Mustafa Hamid? Did we not hear that he was invited by the NIB and that there was some kind of financial hemorrhage in his outfit that he was supervising? What has become of that? What I so much dislike is when they make all the noise about who is stealing what and who is suspected to be doing what, and everywhere goes quiet again. This is a crime. It's a sin. To Mr. Dr. Addison, shut up. Please shut up. We looked at your qualifications. We applauded you. We saw you as a savior for our banking system. When you came in, the least said about you, the better. You should shut up. My producer whispered into my ears that it's time we have to go. Please permit me, let me spend another 2 minutes on this one here. It's from Ghana Web, and it says, announces defamation victory is a shot in the arm for journalists. And this is the man called Martin Pebu. This is my twin brother. Yes, my father had an illegitimate son, and that's him. We speak the same language, and we eat the same food. My brother, the only difference is that He's my learned brother, and I am unlearned. He's a lawyer. My brother, my sister. I read, private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu has described the judgment of the New Jersey court that awarded Anas Armiyahu Anas's 18 million American dollars in damages in a defamation suit against Canada Japan as a great win for the press. Martin Kpebu said, the ruling is critically important for journalists and analysts who hold powerful politicians and influential people accountable. I promised it was going to be 2 minutes, so it's going to be 2 minutes. Listen, Canada Japan has boasted time and again that his problem is not money, but how to spend it. He claimed in an interview that he is richer than all American politicians except Bloomberg. He said there was an American actor that he thought was making so much money. But when he checked his worth, he realized that he was several-fold richer than this American actor. I'll get his name and tell you later. My brother, my sister, Canada Japan has always boasted that if he's guilty, he would pay. I truly was shocked that he was asking for a reduction in the damages. Now we are hearing, no, they have not come to any agreement. They are going for a mistrial and blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. I love Canada Japan. Sometimes he speaks my mind. Sometimes he's as radical as I want him to be. My brother, my sister, but other times too, he goes overboard. This is how we check each other. My brother, it is truly a win for journalism. Politicians have taken us for a ride for far too long. At their beck and call, we publish what their whims and caprices are. Today, my brother, my sister, the powerful have fallen. Today, my brother, my sister, my plea to Anas is, Anas, I've always supported you. I've always loved you. Please, just leave me $1 million out of the 18 million. That's all I ask you for. Keep 17 and give me 1 million. I will do a lot. My brother, my sister, with this 1 million. Hey! 18 million American dollars. My brother, my sister, does Canada Japan have it? He said he does. Is this the end of verbal diarrhea? Or we shall hear more? And as for our courts here, well, it looks like the size of the goat determines how much injustice will be meted out to innocent souls. To the judges who accept goats and sheep, so they could mete out injustice rather than justice. Today the whole world is looking at you. The whole world is looking at you. It's a shame that justice is more expensive in our country than any other country in the world. To get justice, you must have 2 heads, 4 arms, and 6 legs, or else injustice shall be your domain every time. To God be the glory. My name Blakk Rasta. All these corrupt judges.